going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning back into another video. If you caught my last video, you'd seen that we went out to Firebird for the first day of 2025, testing the Nova and some of the changes that we made to the suspension in the off season, and it did not go to plan at all. What I had originally thought to be issues with how the ladder bar is set up in this car, or something in the rear suspension, turned out to not be the issue at all. I spoke with a few people after that weekend and sent the video off to quite a few people, and it came to mine and a few others realization that I had absolutely no weight transfer. So after I got home and after I posted that last video, I started thinking about it a little bit, and this off season I installed these new upper and lower control arms, which the lower control arms actually have a 2-inch pocket in the bottom of them. So you can actually run a stock length spring and not have to cut to get your ride height and stuff that you want. What I didn't take into consideration was the shock length changing with those new lower control arms. So with it being 2 inches lower and the shocks that I've had on the car already being a little bit too short already, as it sits with the shocks in there, they were already about 3/4 of the way extended. So I measured it and I only had about 1 3/4 inches of total travel left before the front tires were off the ground. So I had absolutely no weight transfer at all. And these are the Viking double adjustable shocks that I had in there before. They have a collapsed length of 8 3/4 inches and then a total extended length of only 12.5, I believe is what I measured. So the current plan of action is I have new longer shocks on order. I hit up a few companies. A few of them were build to order and they couldn't get them here to hopefully make it out this weekend for the next test and tune. But QA1 had the specs that I wanted and they were in stock at Summit. So I went ahead and ordered those, and those are on the way. All right, fast forward a couple of days, shocks are here, and here's them side by side to give you a little bit of a comparison. The new QA1s are 10.5 collapsed and 10 collapsed, 15.5 extended. So we're gonna get these thrown in the car really quick and then jack the front end up and make sure that we have enough travel that we need. All right, shocks are installed and I have a lot more front end travel than what I had last weekend. So I even took the bump stops out and put a little piece of rubber on the bottom of both of the A-arms so I can go all the way to the frame now. So I think I have more front end travel than I ever have. So yeah, I hope that this will go a lot better. We're on our way to Firebird Raceway again today. It looks like it's gonna be a gorgeous day. It's supposed to be sunny and around 60, so the track's gonna be good, the air's gonna be good, and hopefully the car performs a little bit better today. All right, guys, we're in the lanes for the first test pass today. The shocks are set pretty loose, so I have a feeling they're gonna extend all the way too quick, but we're gonna start there and then slowly start tightening them up if we need, but we'll see what it does. All right, guys, that was way better than last weekend. That front end travel just made the car launch so much better. That was 300 RPM less as well. I turned the RPM leave down from 4,000 down to 3,700. and that was a quicker 60 foot than we went last weekend. So I do think it not topped the shocks out, but I do think they extended a little bit quick. So I'm gonna slow them down a couple of clicks, and then I may leave it. If it leaves good again, I am totally happy with that. If it can be consistent right there, that'll be perfect. All right, we're in the staging lanes for our third and final pass today. I'm gonna leave it exactly the same and hope that the 60 foot is very similar to the last pass. All right, everybody, definitely an improvement, much better than last weekend. I definitely think that there's still some fine tuning to be done though. The second of the three passes was my quickest 60 foot, and I happened to get into the lanes a little bit quicker than the other two passes, and they drug and sprayed the track right before we went. So I don't know if track prep has to do with that a little bit. But still, 12 thousandths of a second variance between all three is much better than what I was dealing with all of last year. But I definitely would like to get that down even a little bit more. I know I talked to a lot of very competitive cars out there and racers that say their car only moves a few thousandths through the whole day. So I would like to fine tune it a little bit more, but again, much improved over what I have been dealing with, and we'll fine tune that throughout the year. We'll mess with maybe a couple little shock settings here and there. Maybe it's tire pressure, we'll figure that out, but I do feel much better about it, and I think the car is going to be a lot more competitive this year. So I'm going to end the video off there, guys. As always, I really appreciate you guys liking these videos, subscribing, following along. And again, thank you to everybody who saw my last video and reached out with their suggestions and their input regarding the suspension setup on the Nova and what I need to try and what I need to look out for. The season opener, the first race of the year, is what's coming up next. So we're excited to get into competition and excited to bring you guys along. So until then, we'll catch you in the next video.